We are here today to commemorate a beautiful soul, Ruth Edwards. Ruth Edwards was a mentor, a teacher, an inspiration, and a dear friend. She always encouraged you to be creative and to recognize the contributions of Black Americans. She played a vital role in all of our lives, keeping it real, keeping it fun, and keeping it informative. One of the many One of many of her accomplishments was the formation of Books in Black in 2003, and it was designed to educate and inform through unconventional bookmaking. Her motto was books should flip, flop, or fly. I was honored to be a part of Books in Black, and its many exhibits in New York, New Jersey, Florida, and Brazil. Some of my books were exhibited about Elijah McCoy and Janet Collins. Ruth taught us to be proud of our ancestors and to share this knowledge so that we never forget how great we are.
Ruth was always willing to share not only her knowledge of the love of books and encourage us to participate and create books about African Americans. She was also willing to share her supplies and her comments, and she was very creative.
She had the way with words and puns and parables and all sorts of tricks with her work. And that's part of what encouraged me to join. I think Shimoda, I think you were the one who I was in contact with and got me to join the group. But once I did, I just found Ruth's dedication. I mean, she was just dedicated, would call, would follow up, and just make sure you did have what you need. And then she pitched for us our work to other organizations. I had the opportunity to have one of my books travel through Canada because of a pitch that Ruth did, I think, with the assistance of Ed Hutchinson. And it was actually Shimoda, and I don't know if should do this, but Shimoda played, here is Shimoda in my, and she played Phyllis Wheatley as a young woman. But this was the book that I had been encouraged to do by Ruth, and I will be forever grateful to her introduction.
Ruth was amazing. I met Ruth, I believe, at Center for Book Arts in New York. I had gotten a grant to be an artist to learn bookmaking, and I believe she was on the board. So that's how I met Ruth and got to start participating in Books in Black. And she was amazing because getting ready for this call, I was going through my files and she had newsletters and little books that she made. Here's one.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
And she did these phenomenal newsletters, the Ruth Report.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And she got our work into so many places that I would have never thought. Like I believe we was at the Brooklyn Museum, we was in Brazil, we was in, was it Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
I believe there was a show in Tennessee.
Here in Atlanta at the Schomburg, no, Auburn Center. We were in that as well. Yes, yes. And actually, Yale University's library, it was surprising to me when I was doing a search. I'm not sure of all of the names, but Shimoda, I saw your name. My name is in Yale University's library for book artists.
Wow, didn't know
And
that.
that was definitely by way of Ruth.
I had the opportunity to do workshops with Ruth. I also met Ruth at Center for Book Arts, and
Mm.
she and I did a workshop one summer with the kids uh, to create a book for their family history. And when our books were exhibited in Atlanta, I went to Atlanta and did a couple workshops there with her
I,
also.
I don't, I just want to say Ashe, because I do remember when Ruth had our African ancestry candles and lightings. I wanted to greet her with that. I don't remember where or when I met Ruth. I really don't. But after general conversations, we recognized each other's interest in art. And she encouraged me to attend the Center of Book Arts, where she was a stellar book artist. I was surprised. She explained paper textiles and weights and bookbinding techniques. And I started to envision art as any material and apply it to books that did not resemble the conventional format of a book. So I was very enlightened. After that, she formed Books in Black, where I became a member. In her workshops that we attended, and so many, Ruth's instructions and personal advice helped me to construct personal books called one was the Revolving Situation. Okay. And that was a rollable table with attachment chairs, which reminded me of the Lazy Susan on our dining room table. And then there was What a Racket. And that was about black tennis from the early 1900s to the Venus and Serena Williams era. I am so happy that she successfully pursued exhibits in so many various locations in libraries and museums. For me, though, that Ruth was not only, this was not only an art journey. You know, Ruth was multifaceted. She planned trips to Broadway shows, entertainment events, and she prepared delicious home-cooked meals. All right. I
Yes.
need her dry sense of humor, her extraordinary wealth of artistry that she shared not only on the table board, but in her kitchen. She was always attired in her African American garb. But she was also a law and order enthusiast, just like myself. So I thank you, Ruth. I wish you heavenly books and peace. Ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you. I met Ruth through Shimoda. I think I think I was just learning to make books, and just being in her presence and the presence of the women in Books in Black uplifted me and showed me that I could make books about people who look like me. And I remember not making a lot of books, but the most wonderful time I had, or one of the most, was when we did The Body at at Rutgers. And I went on to participate in their yearly symposiums, and they never had another exhibit as fabulous as our exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Ruth was she brought who she was with her, and we did the same. And it was always about bigging us up as women of African ancestry, not trying to fit in the mold of what the establishment had created. So I give thanks.
So I'm so appreciative because it showed me a different side of art. All right. And something that I'm familiar with, along with showing me all the ancestries that we've had for patents that were stolen. All right. I appreciate Ruth so much, and especially the ladies and the gentlemen whom I met at Books in Black, where we've kept in contact with others in certain, formats. So I appreciate you. I truly appreciate, and I thank you.
About 3 or 4 years ago, I went to a tea we were in the Dominican Republic. I went to two teas, and one was here in Staten Island. They were done by the same group of people, a couple. And each time I went, I said, this is a nice tea, but it's not Ruth's tea.
Absolutely.
Oh, I also want to show Greg Christie what he did for us. He
Yes.
created artwork,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry
Mm-hmm.
he's not on the call today. But he's
Yeah.
a phenomenal artist that does
He's,
artwork for children. He has many children's
he's
books.
got 100.
He
Go
has
to
100?
100.
go to
Wow.
yeah, either rgregorychristie.com or Gas Art Gifts.
Yes.
Yes, and they're all shown listed, award-winning books.
Hmm.
Greg lives here in Atlanta, so I've been in touch with him and went to a couple of his demonstrations, and he's at the yearly book festival here. But yeah, Greg is extremely successful illustrator. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I did want to show, I don't have the book because I don't know where it is, that I worked on. It's the book Debrilla Ratchford, and she created the suitcase with wheels and transporting hook. So this
Mhm.
is
Uh,
the patent here. And
Yes.
so I did a book on that. And so the suitcase I created out of an Altoids box and put wheels under it. And the hook I made with
That was
a
cute.
wire, metal
Yeah.
wire.
Mhm.
Also, I made from, I think his name was John Loving. He was the inventor of the pencil sharpener.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had gone to an old secondhand store and found a 100-year-old wind-up pencil sharpener. And
There
then
she goes.
I made a big pencil out of polymer clay. It was about maybe 3 feet long. And I took pencil shavings and I constructed this whole thing. And that was like Ruth's encouragement of just, go big, go large.
Also, Ruth, I found on my cookbooks, Ruth
Yes.
did a cookbook with the
Um,
kids
yes.
as a fundraiser for scholarship. And I worked with Ruth doing a book with the kids. I think she gave it to President Obama and did a copy for the Smithsonian.
Yes, she
Yes,
did.
she
Yes,
did.
she did.
She did.
Um, I will just say I miss her, and her talent was just phenomenal, and she was such an encouraging person, even for a novice such as myself. So I will always remember that.
Mm.
All right. I just also wanted to show you that I do have the National Museum of Catholic Art and History. I don't know if you can see this.
Bring it back some in front of your face.
And then higher,
Higher.
higher,
Higher.
in front of your face and higher. Yes, a new page. We could see
New
books and
A
page.
new
blank.
page.
All right.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And where it opened up to the history,
Oh,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
then it opened up to our books. Can you see?
Yes.
yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Hmm.
Yes. She was
Extraordinary
definitely
people
a
who make
phenomenal woman.
Extraordinary
extraordinary
books.
people who make ordinary books.
Extraordinary books.
Extraordinary books. Yeah.
Ordinary people. Well, we're extraordinary too.
Yes, we are.
I'd like to present Jamil. I'm gonna see. Can you see? Oh, maybe not. Okay. I have the
Yeah.
photo from
Uh,
his
mhm.
homegoing. So I introduced Jamil. Jamil was a multi-talented artist, and he made a plane. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but he really loved coming to Books in Black.
Well, let me show it to you because I do have a photo of it, and this was it, the Tuskegee.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay, thank you.
Nice.
Can you
Beautiful.
see it?
Very nice.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I also like to have us remember Valerie Dees,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
okay, and the pattern that she made. Also, the quilt pattern that she did. Also, what was her name? Redmond.
Sandra.
Sandra
Sandra.
Redmond. Yeah.
Sandra Redmond.
Yes. Yes. And then she did the first Black female plane aviator.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
Was it Bessie
theme,
Coleman?
It
Is
was
that the
it was
name?
Bessie Coleman, if I'm not
Bessie
mistaken.
Coleman. Yes.
and the
Yes.
theme that Ruth would always have is the first of, and then the invention. So the first, some
First
like
two.
judge
First
and first,
food.
yeah, but
Food.
then also the inventors, and it was those two
Yes.
sides of
Mm-hmm.
the exhibitions that we could
Yes.
choose from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I enjoy.
Inventing in color.
Mm. Yeah. I love the workshops because we were always so busy. We sat in our seats, we laughed, we ate, and we prepared our books and everything, you
Yeah.
know.
Wonderful.
And then Ione did the photography. She worked on the photography, plus she did her book of Eva Jesse.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Ruth, you know we're here.
Right, exactly.
And she's always with us. Everywhere
Yes.
where you look, like you say, you're finding things every day, or at
Yes.
least I do. Every time I go into a cupboard or a drawer, there's something of Ruth there that
Yes.
reminds me so much of her. So
Yes.
she's
Yes.
very, very much alive in my life.
Mm-hmm. Even when we open the refrigerator, you know?
Remember?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
And she had a tits book, right? The book.
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yeah. It's something that what we all did to accomplish making a book out of anything and everything,
Mhm.
you know, and we all should be proud of ourselves, you know, and especially for Ruth has helped us to accomplish in that area. I know that she's probably trying to find a certain cloud and a certain star in heaven, you know, to make these dreams come true as books.
Yes.
Mhm.